strike 'em.
Hello, anyone who will be watching now later on YouTube, Hillyan here, along with...
Rakir.
And welcome to Something Sunday, where we'll be playing, or actually returning, to Hardspace Shipbreaker. This is the first game that I actually streamed on Twitch before I started uploading, because, well, I found it to be a quite fun game, and wanted to share it to a friend of mine, and, well, from there on, basically started streaming on the regular as whenever possible. There we go. So, yeah, last time I streamed this, I didn't have my co-commentator Drakir with me.
That is correct. And I have not seen anything of this game at all.
Yeah, I said this yesterday as well, but it'd been almost half a year since this game updated, and I'd said that I would return to this game whenever it would give a decent enough update. Yeah, so I had feared that it might have been abandoned, but, well, lo and behold, it gets a big story update. So, yeah.
I will not say a game is abandoned after 6 months, but sometimes whatever update they do can take quite a long time. However, it's good for the developer to inform that they are not abandoning, that they're just busy.
Yeah, just put in some minor patch things along the way. I don't do Twitter, so it might have been that they've been talking on that uh, to see, to tell people that they were still working on the game. But yeah, as it says here, the campaign's first act is in place, storyline from ranks 1 to 7, so we'll see how far we can get into that this time. And to help with that, we'll be going with the open shift difficulty, which removes the shift timer and oxygen drain for a more relaxed experience. Basically, these are the difficulties with easy, standard, hard, and Iron Man. Yep, let's see. Unlimited lives, but you work on the clock. Time is money. Limited, 30 revives for the whole campaign. Measure twice, cut once. And no revival, 1 life. Remember, there's no such thing as a second chance. So yeah, normally you would be normally you'd be restricted to 15-minute shifts. But yeah, because we want to get through the ranks and the story as much as we can in this, we'll go open shift. Let's see, oxygen drain setting open shift mode allows players to play at their own pace. Please select below if you would prefer to use the standard oxygen drain or if you would prefer oxygen drain disabled. Let's have it disabled. Mankind has industrialized much of the solar system. Earth has deteriorated into a place of squalor and decay. In orbit, a new breed of worker has emerged, the Shipbreaker. The labor is extremely dangerous, but for a select few, the hazard pay is worth the risk. Because you do get paid like a hell in this, once you start getting the hang of it. And I should probably move this back to its usual space. There we go. Let's see, Intermailer, Links Corporation, Response, Shipbreaker Application, Energy and Power LLC, Bill past due, final noticed, credit transfer declined, memory payment required, any rations to spare, please respond, Office of Civilian Oversight, important dad sick again, bill past due, second notice, utility workforce application denied, food shortages continue, and can't see what's behind it because I can't move this. Yeah, contamination concerns. Let's see, Shipbreak application paved the way to the Galaxy program. Update on your application status. Let's view. Confirmation form. Congratulations on acceptance into the links paved the way to the Galaxy program for over from over 124.8 million applicants. You were chosen based on above average exceptional physical and cognitive ability. Participation in this program can be lucrative and rewarding depending on the willingness to follow the vision and processes of Lynx Corporation. You have been assigned to Salvage Station 42, designation Morgan. This station currently has no additional personnel, but if you are able to demonstrate the ability to build and grow a profitable operation, a number of exciting opportunities await you. Remember, employment in the Pave the Way to the Galaxy program is at the sole discretion of Lynx Corporation and can be revoked at any time. Acts of insubordination or malice will not be tolerated. On the receipt of your electronic signature, a shuttle will be deployed immediately to your current location to deliver you to your post. Training will commence immediately on arrival. Finalize your info on the following pages to confirm employment. Account name, Links work effort tracking and employee social hub requires employee name account. Account name, please enter an account name below. Profanity or anti-corporate slang jargon is not allowed. Let's go with the usual. And the revival package. We probably offer our body and mind revival package to new employees. Below are the details of your selected revival package. Terran Health Board Advisory. Clothing has a 0.02% of DNA corruption. As we said, open shift, so we have unlimited spares. But yeah, basically these are your respawn. But every time you respawn, you get you get you have to pay for it. And here we can choose out of 4 voices. And let's go with that one. Orientation preference, basically your control up if you want to move up to look up, or the other way around. Meal preference is not really of anything of importance. Here we go. Please agree to each statement. I have no criminal record in the Terran or Martian zones. A record in the Jovian frontier is acceptable. I am not a member of and have never associated with a workers' union or other labor interest. That is a big red flag there. I have completed my annual medical exam and have been cleared of having McCullen's lung. Is that supposed to be some sort of miner's lung? I have no commercial or real estate interest on Luna, in the asteroid belt, or in the nation state of Arizona. Okay. I will bring a positive attitude and problem-solving mindset to work every day. I understand and accept the health risk associated with long-term exposure to a van der Waals field. We don't, but we have to accept anyways. And I will vote for Chancellor Chung Zhang in the Pan-American Senate election. Yeah, that is, in current times, extremely illegal.
Yeah, I just realized there's a nation state of Arizona.
Yep.
So
there's a lot going on in the background that I'm assuming that the story will eventually start. Okay, you're not even going to start on this. That the story will eventually start hinting at, or outright telling. Grants permission to Lynx collect, analyze, and utilize their biometric data for use to better the lives and well-being of them and their co-workers. Psychological, physiological tests on them anytime. Garnish their wages if their actions or lack thereof result in any real or potential losses for the company. Create new entities with their DNA, aka cloning. Permission to link, study, manipulate, procreate, and duplicate any and all of my grain and white mirror. So we basically have to we have to sign off our brain to them as well. And permission to Lynx the authority to transfer any and all unpaid debts owed to Lynx and or any of its affiliates to their next of kin. So basically, if we do die up there, yeah, the family ends up with the debt. Terminate this contract at any time without notice or payment in lieu, with no requirement. So yeah, this is to say this is weighed in against us would be the ultimate understatement.
yeah, I really hope we never reach this far.
Okay, there we go. We won't skip training because it has been like 6 months since I played this.
Each day he steps steps into the yard to earn his wages working hard. I pray to the stars and heaven above to return my daddy to those he loves. If there comes a time when he and death meet, bless the next cutter that takes his seat.
Okay.
Yep, that is what we'll be doing.
Hello, Cutter 9346-52. Your automated Lynx onboarding experience will now begin. Please observe this important message. Space, boundless promise, limitless resources, a brighter future. It's here that hard workers like you, the backbone of civilization, will help us pave the way to the galaxy. I'm Calicia Rai Paulson, president of Lynx Corporation's Salvage Division. When my great-great-grandfather Exeter founded Lynx, he foresaw a remarkable opportunity among the stars. His vision eventually brought us the Railgates. Now spanning all the way to Jupiter, these are the veins connecting all of modern civilization. And the people flowing through them are its lifeblood. The Railgates reinvigorated humanity and are key to our continued progress. You have been selected from among thousands of candidates to join the Lynx family. This is more than just a job. It's an opportunity to be part of the largest, most successful, and most pioneering company in human history. Your dream may be to forge your own destiny one day. Well, work hard, heed your superiors, believe in the Lynx vision. Do this, and you too will get your chance. Your first step is to join our EverWork program. The greatest gift we give our employees, turning death into an ongoing opportunity for learning and growth. With Lynx, death is a fresh start. Good luck.
Everwork. Could they have chosen any other more obvious name for it? Like, even in death, you are not safe from your job. Is it going to continue on its own?
Video observation complete. To finalize onboarding, your genetic sequence will now be extracted for use with the Lynx EverWork Asset Replacement Program. Don't worry, pain levels during extraction are largely tolerable. Please note, as outlined in Section 31 of your employment agreement, the process of genetic extraction will destroy your original body.
Wait.
Beginning extraction now. Extraction analysis and backup complete. Thank you. Beginning spare generation.
Great, we can't even say that this job is killing us because it killed us before we got on the job.
What the heck?
I I think the game is glitched because I fast forwarded through this by skipping the thing we can, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to show uh, our depth, and yeah, instead we're all being served with a blank screen.
Yeah, except that, wait, there we go.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's. Let's do that again because we were. There was obviously supposed to be something where this is, and this is a game by. This is a game by a new group, so we shouldn't expect too much of them. But um, let's see. Sign out. Delete profile. Yes. And train disabled. Hmm. Okay, well, I guess we found a glitch for them. And we can't fast forward through this bit. Or we can.
Either a
Like,
glitch or something they have not added yet.
new green contamination algae producer begins an investigation into scope of contaminations in its flagship something or something. Yes. Chicken. Yes, 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 yes. Hmm. We can skip that.
Hello, Cutter 9346-52. Your automated links onboarding experience will now begin. Please observe this.
There we go. Everwork asset replacement successful. The next sequence stored. Congratulations, it's now safe to die. Shipbreakers are responsible for the cost of biomaterials used in the Everwork process. An additional fee is required for deaths that occur outside working hours. You may now proceed with salvage training. Good luck. And yeah, here we go. Fees report. Yep. And before we've even started, we're 1.25 billion in debt. Let's have a little look here. Citizen report check 112k. Medical analysis 3.62k. Transportation to work sites half a mil. Seat selection fee 10k. Kessler passage toll 77k. Luggage handling including gratuity 35% 212k. Automated onboarding procedure 1.2 million. Lifeguard genetic backup storage half a billion. Biomaterial refrigeration 272 just 250 million. Equipment setup, equipment security deposit, degaussing and delousing for a million. I do not see how delousing someone is supposed to take 1.5 million in costs. Habitation fee, cleaning, repainting, or is that? It's always annoying that these things don't have lines drawn specifically to them. Yeah, habitation fee 6 million, on-site training, which we haven't even had, 8 million. Helmet software updates 800k. Meal prep annual 34 million. Waste management human premium 20 mil. Immigration duty fee 112 mil, 122 mil. Entertainment fee, entertainment library fee 60k, and of course, well, the 99999s that make that are supposed to make things look cheaper, but anyone who actually has like 2 seconds to think on it will notice like, hey, it's not 1 cent cheaper because it just usually gets rounded up anyways. Tracking implant fee, come on. Another half mil. Salvage rights fee, including notary, 1.4 mil. Financial account setup fee, 5,000. Account management fee monthly, 2,000. Administration fee, 500. Yeah, 500. And display of fees report, 7.5. Like they're really fleecing you on everything they can.
Yeah, then again, it's for in future, so imagine prices go up, like... Let's
They're
be honest.
inflated to hell and back.
Yeah, let's say if you think about it, some things in the past were cheaper in price compared to now.
Yeah,
But then
personally, I do not understand inflation.
that's what it was, yeah. I can half understand it. It seems to, I think it relates to how much money you print and all that. But not fully sure.
You're okay. Everything's gonna be just fine. There you go. Plenty of folks feel a bit woozy with their first fare. Anyway, welcome aboard. My name's Weaver. I'm the foreman for yourself and a couple of the other shipbreakers in this region. This here's Morgan Station. She may not look like much right now, but once we boot her up, she'll purr like a kitten. Alright, let's test out your orientation control. Do me a favor and look up at that cargo elevator up above. That's it. So that's where all the salvage gets collected to be picked up by the transfer crew. Just in case you ever turn yourself out of whack, use your roll thrusters to reorient. Alright, now let's get you flying. Activating your thruster
Okay, he is
controls
being real
now.
quiet on my end, but yeah, this is basically just movement control,
Yeah.
movement
It's
tests.
also quiet on my end as well. I can hear him, but
Now, vertical control.
yeah, not well.
Looks good. Now to finalize these movement checks, I need you to fly to these waypoints.
Okay, this is new. But yeah, usually Q and E would be for the rolls, but it seems to have it seems to have saved my settings from before. And something it didn't tell there is if you press Q and E, you brake, which here is going to be very useful.
Cutter myself, you know. Till there were some complications with my last revive. Those were early days in the tech, though, so never you mind about that. Oh, almost forgot about the most important thing. Brakes. Get yourself going at a decent clip, and then test them out, why don't you?
Okay, so they do tell about it this time.
Alright, looks like the bay here was left in a bit of a mess. We're gonna clean this scrap up. Gonna activate the furnaces. Now. Dang thing. Would you just... There you go. So these furnaces are used to melt down soft metals. Should go without saying that these things are as hot as all get out. So try not to drift into them by accident. Okay, let's get a handle on your grapple tool. This fella here is a Shipbreaker's bread and butter. This is how we move salvage around. Activate the beams and hold it to grab an object and move it around. If it's not too heavy, give it a go and move one of these pieces into either furnace. So when you're holding an object with the grapple, you can retract the beam. This will pull a light object to you. If it's heavier than you, it'll pull you towards it. Nice job cleaning up all that soft metal scrap, Cutter. Let's move on to the bigger nanocarbon chunks now, shall we? You may have already noticed that these are too heavy to move check out their structural makeup. Go ahead and boot it up.
Okay, let's toggle the scanner with T.
The scanner lets you assess an object's structure. What I want you to focus on right now are these cut points. Alright, Control is giving me the go-ahead to get you cutting. You have quick access to all your tools through your HUD. Just open up the tool selector and choose the cutting tool.
Let's see. There are cutter, and there we go.
Has two modes. The first one is the stinger. It's designed for precision vaporization of cut points like this. You ready to perform some zero-G surgery, Cutter? Well, let's split this scrap so it's light enough to move.
Go, we just hold the button to keep, and there we go.
Okay, let me boot up the processor so you can salvage these. Do me a favor and look towards one of them there so I can see if they activate right. Yeah, perfect. Wish me luck here, Cutter. Me and technology ain't always the best of friends. Hey, alright, we're in business. Now swap over to your grapple and toss one of them pieces you separated right in there.
And there we go, get it moving. And yeah, these things are a lot harder to manipulate. We can still push them around and pull them, but most will need to push them mostly, or shove them more like. And yeah, these will be our most valuable pieces for the moment.
Done getting this bay in shape. Let's go after that large aluminum chunk over there.
This one here.
Now this beast is way too heavy to move as is. It's also too dense for your stinger to break it down, and there are no structural cut points for us to take advantage of. We're gonna have to switch over to the split saw mode of your cutting tool and start slicing this thing down the sides.
And yeah, this one is plain too big for us, so we have to cut it into half.
We're in business. I've unlocked the trigger on your cutting tool. It'll split that big chunk clean in two. Go ahead and give her a whirl. I'm gonna turn on your salvage indicator so you can track how much work is left to do. This thing will track how much you've salvaged and how much you lost. For now, let's try and hit that first goal marker. And that's what it's all about, Cutter. The more salvage goals you complete, the closer you'll get to hitting your certifications and ranking up.
Okay, so it's where is it showing that? Okay, in the upper left it shows what has been processed in the last.
In the yard, Cutter. Let's head on over to your hab and I'll show you the ropes there. Now fly on over back to the master jack. I'll put a marker on it so you can find it easy.
And yeah, this is where we'll be staying during the game.
Great first shift in the yard, Cutter.
Oh, and that's a repeat.
To your hab and I'll show you
That's
the
repeating text.
Now fly on over back to the master jack. I'll put a marker on it so you can find it easy.
Yeah, and shift. And yeah, here is where we go after every day. Okay, this has been updated. Scrap aluminium. This will show us what we've done and how much it's been worth. So yeah, we earned 500,000 from just that. Maybe they upped the prices or the worth of items as well. But because I don't remember aluminium being that valuable.
Well,
Let's
look
see.
at the amount of kilo that was, though.
You're already on your way up. Head on into your hab and we'll check things out.
And yeah, certification review, quota complete, hard work has not gone unnoticed, basic certification rank 2. And with that, we unlock new things that we can get, like the ship class 1 certification, so we can actually get to work on ships. Let's see, mastery points earned, MP from credits, salvage goal MP 100 earned. Okay, and for the next one we need 75 more. And we also got some links tokens from that, because that was at 150 earlier.
Welcome to your new home, Cutter. Has everything you need. This is officially called a ready-made long-term employee habitation something or other, but round here, we just call it your half. Okay, let's have a look at your employee terminal. Now let's get caught up on career progression and certification. I've sent you a message with an explanation now. Go on and give it a read.
Oh, come on. Unread messages will incur an hourly data storage fee after 10 days. Yeah, I don't think it's audible on the mic at the moment, but construction work, or not really construction, but work on getting stuff ready for the solar panels is ongoing outside there.
Yep, cannot hear them.
Let's see. 3 from links, certification, tool scanner structure mode, employee financial relief program. Okay. I'm pressing. Okay, I was pressing E, but it wasn't working yet. New sticker unlocked. Achievement perfect salvage of over 98%. Yeah, we salvage junk. Let's see here. Okay, for a moment I thought he was going to pipe up again.
Mud? Don't worry. I'm here to walk you through the process, and soon enough I'm going to introduce you to some of the other shipbreakers. Most of them are willing to help you out too. All right, let's start a new shift and pick your first shift to work on.
Yeah, basically this certification ranks are the levels in this. As you go up, you get more access to new upgrades and new tools. Back. Scanner structure mode is pre-installed on every optical cross-spectrum scanner. With standard issue Link's worksuit, it is core part of the Shipbreaker toolkit, and it lets you assess the structural makeup of the ship, clearly demarcating hull plates, structural beams, and important cut points. Default mode, unless you were using a different mode before. Yeah, we have 3 modes on that. I think one is electrical, and the other is systems. Let's see. Employee financial relief program. Everything important and good in this world comes with a price. Each privileged person who joins our family becomes a to become a shipbreaker comes with significant costs. Fortunately, Link shoulders the burden of these costs temporarily in order to let you hit the ground running and begin training stress-free. Yeah, knowing you have $1 billion in debt is never not going to stress you the hell out. This cost sharing is handled through our initiative employee covers all essential onboarding costs and fees, including the cost of training and equipment borrowed from links. Also included is the fees for the Everwork asset replacement program, which enables safe, unlimited career progression and growth through the power of links technology. Will be automatically deducted from the amount you owe. All the value that you earn as a shipbreaker will automatically be deducted from the amount you owe to the percent. The borrowed money is paid off as quickly as possible so you can get on with building yourself a bright future. So yeah, it's I forget the word. It's a debt scam, basically. Like, I know I don't live in America myself, but I've heard of how debt works there, and or with a lot of companies how it works. That is basically, say you owe someone $100 and you can't pay it up, it gets sent to a debt management company or something, and they will start charging you interest on that $100 every month, every year. But any payment that you make goes to paying off that interest first. So say for simplicity's sake, it has a 20% interest rate. So after 1 month, you owe them 100 original and $20 interest. If you were to pay them $20, that would go off the interest first. So even then, you'd still be owing them $100. Yeah, which is, in my opinion, is criminal, because yeah, that way, if you earn $20 a month, you're going to have to every month you'll still be owing them $20 again and again and again. Let's see, salvage goals. Lynx is proud to now introduce the all-new salvage goal system to our valued shipbreakers. With a performance in mind, salvage goals should help shipbreakers in understanding the expected total value expected from a ship. Estimated by our finely tuned salvage assessment algorithm, salvage goals are an incentive that reward overall progress, yielding additional rewards when reached. These goals provide many goodies to our valued shipbreakers, highly rewarding those who reach all provided salvage goals without destroying salvage. Encourages employees to aim for salvaging as much material as possible to provide it on all provided ships in order to maximize the value of the ships provided. And are they going to have to stick? Are they sticking this after every thing just to up the data cost of this? New ship access. Evening Cutter, you've been doing great with onboarding so far. Really impressed with your skills. I'm clearing you for some proper ships, mackerel class light cargo and station hoppers. Mackerels are the most common ship among the colonies. They come in all kinds of models. The ones we are getting decommissioned, the main ones we get were decommissioned since they can't ride the rail anymore. Railgate strength got used a couple of years back, and these babies can't handle it. The light cargo model is usually used to haul civilian cargo around, so expect some weird stuff floating around in there. Now the station hoppers, those give me a bit of nostalgia. They were people movers. Sometimes you'll crack into one that still has power and see your old ads playing on the terminals. You know, got a crack in your mask, got a tear in your suit, by Lix branded gear for your hard-earned loot. Okay, that is a nice little jingle. You might start to see fire hazards show up. I'll help you when you get there. This will be fun. Weaver. And yeah, here we have an example of them. Okay. Okay, so those are kept separate. They be basically the permission slips for, well, new ship types. Let's see. Over here, when we start a ship, we have the current ship, which is nothing at the moment, and the ship catalog.
This is the catalog that shows you which ships you have access to from the shipyard. Every day, you can choose to continue working on the ship you've got, or start a fresh one. Go ahead and pick one, any one, and we'll get to work.
Yeah, ship grade here is basically the size or difficulty, and this is going up quite a bunch. Okay, one for basically a one for every certification rank. And you were going to say?
I realized something of the last year and this year that for one we had a lot of ads from online casinos and tons of companies that loans you money. There are a few of those ads about the company that loans you money, but it seems like the casino ones are completely gone now.
Okay, over here we have like only one legal casino in the Netherlands. I'm actually forgetting the name for a moment, and yeah, I can't remember seeing anything on online casinos for quite a while. But then again, I use an ad blocker because fuck all of that.
Yeah, I think I suspect that the rise of companies that lend you money and casino are almost working hand in hand, and Swedish government in the end they just had enough of it because they realized too many people spent money on it and got in debt.
Yeah, and people in debt can't contribute to the economy because you actually have to spend money to contribute to the economy, which is why people who hoard it are I think that is where the basis of inflation basically people just hoarding money, so new money needs to be entered into the system so people can keep buying stuff.
Yeah, I can understand you want to hoard some money, but there's a limit to how much you should hoard.
And yeah, over here we see the last owners of the ship here with the symbols. We have Tiber Transplanetary, Expedition Express, Direct Ways. Also, it says that each one is labeled with it's labeled with their owner right there, the type of ship they are, and the ship class. Like all of these are mackerel, station hopper, light cargo, station hopper. And generally, most of these will look the same because these are the easiest ships and also the smallest, so there won't be too much variation in how they look. So let's go for this one, the Swift Columbia. Hazard level 0. Hazard level is based on stuff over here, like fire hazards, cold hazards, electrical hazards, and explosive hazards. And over here it notes the types of resources that you will be finding on the ship, and estimated value and mass. But enough talk. Let's claim this ship. Claiming a new ship will clear the salvage bay of your existing ship. We don't have a ship in there, so clear it out.
Your rank back is gonna put food into machine.
Link's employee handbook, employee benefits. The air in your Link's habit unit is replenished every 2 weeks for consistent freshness. So basically, if you fart, you're stuck with that fart for 2 weeks. Like,
She's all yours, Cutter. Your primary goal is to reach rank 3. Now try to remember, nanocarbon goes in the processor, aluminum goes in the furnace. Try to salvage the entire ship if you can. We call it using the whole buffalo. You'll hit your certs faster that way. And start knocking out that debt of yours. I'll be observing and giving you any help if you need it. Good luck, Cutter.
okay. This one is already open and exposed. Yeah, we have to deal with pressurization from time to time, but okay, this thing has been completely stripped out already. Okay, so let's see. First order of business typically is to get the hull off, typically the first order of business is to depressurize the ship, but since that's already been done, we just have to start cutting things loose. And okay, apparently the game volume is also very low, so maybe that's why it's up. It's at max volume. Okay.
Hopefully that's something they will fix on.
Okay. With a bit of luck or with a bit of aiming, you can hit multiple of these cutting points like this. Only the red areas are where it will cut, or actually where it can cut, because you can upgrade. Now, before we could upgrade the cutter to be able to cut through more materials. So that is something that might not always be available, I'm thinking. But yeah, we can easily cut free this entire half of the ship. But at the moment we can't cut nanocarbon here, so it doesn't respond to that. But aluminium, it can't cut through. So we should be a bit careful with where to aim it. And yeah, this one that we got shown before, basically we have to heat a part up until it melts. Useful for pinpoint accuracy, but yeah, seeing as this one will also just stay on the target that you're aiming at for the most, I haven't found it to be too useful myself.
Okay. What the heck? Yeah, I'm just sitting out being stunned over this universe and praying we never get this far into corporate rule, or what you would call it.
There is a specific word for that, I think, but it is escaping me at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think a word that is run by corporates would work.
But trust me, soon enough you'll be stripping the huge Gecko-class freighters like they're nothing. Got my start salvaging back down Earthside in the droid scrapping business. You know what made me come up here? Well, one day we got a batch of this particular model in. One of them kinds with synthetic skin and everything. We almost never saw people looking ones like that. They were always too expensive to manufacture. Seems someone found a warehouse full of them, mothballed for, 20 years or so, since the AI ban took effect. Probably bought the whole lot for pennies, thinking they could turn a tidy profit with the salvage. No word of a lie. These things look exactly like my stepbrother did. Even had the same slack-jawed expression. Now, Jed and I wasn't exactly pals or nothing. All the same, I couldn't bring myself to start smashing that dopey face. And
Okay, so I knew there was an AI ban in this universe, but not that androids were a thing. Okay, so that is new, and we don't have access to one of the main features of the game yet, and because I've cut all of these parts loose, they'll start drifting apart a bit, slowly at a time, not enough to get themselves into too much trouble. So yeah, we can just reel them in.
Oh, I should remember something.
Hmm.
This is, I think, one of the many things that made the government maybe to just go ham down on casinos is many of the casinos here send a real life paper mail to you, and I got one time. And here's the problem:
Hmm.
they really made the letter big and look.
Credits deposited.
Like they were from the tax
It said,
organization.
yeah, it looked like it was from the government. It looked at import. It was important. It looked very official. So when I opened it, it was a casino commercial.
Yeah,
I
I've
was-
heard that they were doing that. Some of those have been doing that, which is, if not outright illegal, is just skirting the line so much that it might as well be fully illegal.
Yeah, and this one was so convinced that I think they may have gotten problem with the government because that was not okay. But I thought seriously there was something important that I was in trouble or something. But no, it was a damn casino commercial. And yeah, I think they did many of those things to others, and I think, again, yeah, as I said, they made many people in debt, so they started to go ham down on it.
Okay, this one
Especially
is a
when
bit annoying because oh no, it's not. What is that? Specifically, it's a cargo valve hatch. Yeah, some of these parts will have both processor and salvage materials on them. In that case, you'll have to just look at how much of each there is on there.
Yep, that's it. I know business is important for a good, healthy, country and all that.
Oop.
However, I don't want corporations to rule a country.
Yeah.
But there needs to be someone to make sure that a company doesn't go only for the money and then forget that people need to live.
Yeah. I think workers' rights has with one positive that has come from all of the Corona stuff and instant demonetization. Not that it monetize anyways. Is that, well, a lot of stuff that corporations have been telling people that is like, you know, work gospel or something has been proven to be absolutely bullshit. Like you can't work from home, you have to work from the office. And now, well, I'm pretty sure like more than half of the global population or the global worker population is working from home now. And
Yeah,
including myself, and I have no interest in the slightest to go back in working in an office.
yeah, I think like if you're able to work at home, it may cause the internet companies to make internet cheaper and faster, since it be more important for that. But also means hopefully better for the environment, since it may lead to less traffic.
Yep. And that is one of the main reasons I'd say I would not be going. Well, partially one of the main reasons why I won't be going back to an office. For one, it saves so freaking much on just travel time and expenses. Like
Yeah.
here, I can just wake up, do my daily stuff, and then go straight into work into one of the rooms here, and yeah, instead of just wasting an hour or two daily in just getting around the place. And I think I
Yeah.
forgot something on there, but oh well.
Yeah, I can imagine in some work you need an office for where it makes sense, but otherwise most things are stored online and all that.
Yeah.
You probably imagine that the office space may shrink, so you just have somewhere you store the important information that needs a physical storage.
Yeah, that's a lot of buildings that could actually be I don't know how many buildings exactly you would be able to use for something different, but I assume a lot of offices, or at least some office buildings, could be turned into well, living room houses.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
But hopefully, after this pandemic is over, that things will change for the good.
Yeah. Okay. These macro cockpits are annoying because there's a lot of aluminium in them, inside of them, and also glass that goes into the furnace. Okay. But for now, we have this big ass internal structure that we've basically, well, it has already been picked clean. We've just cut off anything that wasn't going for the, that wasn't headed for the processors. So we just have to cut through here. And let's see, those are now loose from each other. Nope. Yeah, the cutter can be pretty specific when it works. Like it didn't cut through this bar here, even though it was overlaid.
At the wrong to burger.
Okay, it looks to be free now. And there it goes.
Yeah, I want to say that from what I saw earlier from the trailer, how thick the hull is, and imagine that should be bulletproof.
Yeah.
Seeing from what the heck that weapon does to metal. Makes me
Okay.
wonder.
Also notch this in.
I really hope they have a regulation of don't make weapons so strong that they clean cut through a hole.
Yeah, that is in part probably why these cutters can't cut through the hull pieces.
Yeah, but still, you saw on the trail how thick that was.
Glass is always annoying with these, because you're still losing quite a bit in this, but it is quite valuable still. Or I think glass in comparison to the other furnace material is a lot more valuable. Okay, that is some very. I don't remember the grappler having that much range on it at the start.
I can imagine that must be very special and damn mighty thick glass.
Yeah.
Since it's space, since you simply can't use cheap glass when you go to space. It won't work.
Yeah, we've mentioned this on an earlier stream. At the International Space Station, it has a glass window. I don't think there are actually any more, but the glass in that stuff is, for one, I presume to be even above military grade glass, and even then, it's still like as thick as a wall.
Yeah, but it needs to be. And when it's not this proper space travel to other planets, it's probably gonna need to be thicker or even used at all.
Oop. Okay, sometimes the physics can be a bit wonky when things are moving against each other. And hello, we have some little junk here.
There we go. Can you imagine a shuttle needing the glass? Or they may be more the ones that doing a bit scouting and all that, but a main spaceship that does far longer travels, there may be no glass at all.
Yeah, because as the guest in Mass Effect would say, windows are a structural weakness.
Yeah. So you're gonna a massive civilization ship basically gonna need a lot of sensor cameras and such to make sure they see everything. And your main helm or bridge is probably gonna be around in the middle of the ship.
Yeah, just nudge the thing until it turns and then shove it out. Okay, am I stuck? Okay, now you can wiggle yourself through quite some small openings in this, but not every opening. And yeah, we're just going to keep dissecting this thing for as much as we can at the moment. Yep, a bit of a visual glitch there on the edge. Why aren't you loose yet? Or did I forget to cut you at the... Okay, I forgot to cut you on the other side, it seems. Or underside. Okay, out. Actually, let's just stop with this. This is a lot more processor material than there is furnace material. So yeah, it is just plain more. If we were timed here, we would be wasting our time. We would be, well, absolutely wasting our time cutting off that little amounts when we could just chuck all of that in there and just take the little loss from destroying the aluminium.
Yeah, like if that was only one material left and a big shell of that, just throw the damn shell in.
Yeah. It was okay. It in the upper left there, it cut it into different sections. Like it almost seemed like there was the same amount of aluminium as nanocarbon in there, but was plain not. And even then, if it were 200 kilograms of nanocarbon and 200 kilograms of aluminium, the nanocarbon would be like 3 times as valuable anyways. Let's see. Equipment mounts, panels destroyed, glass destroyed.
Yeah, you see, I said it's counting in kilos, and let's be honest, aluminium in that amount of kilos will be worth a lot.
Yeah, but we still got like 11 tons of nanocarbon out of that thing. And it does look like the credits you earn for stuff has been upped quite a bit.
Probably to match with the inflation.
Let's see. Yep, next level. And now we have the ship class 2 certification, which is probably the ones that haven't been completely stripped out yet. MP earned 158. Salvage goals haven't been giving us MP yet. And from the amount that we... Okay. On the amount that we salvage up the ship, of the percentage we get, or we got, 1 links token, another links token, and a repair kit, and 3 links tokens. So this is really just nudging you to salvage a lot more of the ship, instead of just, working on a new ship every day, because that would, if...
Looking good, Cutter. Now go ahead and pick another ship.
These little ships, it would generally be worth it to just pull off as much as you can in one day and then just go to the next. But other ships, the bigger ships, you'd have to do a lot of prep work to get to the really valuable stuff. Let's see, new messages, hazards, fire, hazard level 2, committed to ensuring shipbreakers are exposed to hazard levels in ships only according to their proficiency level and medium estimated emotional adjustment time should death occur related to these hazards. If you have reached the clearance level for hazard level 2, you may begin to encounter fire hazards in the form of fuel and flaming objects. Causing links, equipment, or salvage goods to be damaged by fire will result in credit deductions, as will damage to or destruction of your link spare.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a lot of money, but there's a but.
Yeah, not of that. We are technically not seeing a cent of that because all of that is going to the interest of the debt, and the debt first is still. Kiosk, your one-stop shop for all your shipbreaking needs. It dispenses all the items that any self-respecting shipbreaker wouldn't leave the hab without. At the kiosk, shipbreakers can find the following courtesy of our affiliate suppliers: oxygen tanks, Nova Fuels thrust refillers, Trilliant repair kits, Craft. Okay, that is probably a pun on Damascus. Patch kits, links, tether cartridges. All of these are available for purchase at market rates and already factor in your 1.7 employee discount. Genuine patch kits manufactured by Damascus Earth, not to be confused with Damascus Craft patch kits from Phobos. Of course, there are fakes running all over the place with this. And we got this sticker earlier, which we can stick to our stuff. Just a little cosmetic bullshit. No, not yet. I was trying. Oh, it's Q and R, not Q and E. Okay, that can be a bit annoying at times then. Can you actually... It's not letting me look through the other grades, so yeah, I guess we'll have to go here. Let's see, we have the Blue Express, Mahoney 11, Nebulous Raven, and the Swift Eagle. Still the same types. And yeah, as you may have noticed that the booster stuff and the side panels of the previous one that were shown on the picture weren't there. Well, on the actual thing. Those are the high value things that we are probably going to get access to this time. So let's take another one of these cargo ones.
Alright. Yep, be right back.
Or no, that was a transport one.
Oh dear. And I see this as a tradition. Don't die.
Alright, hold up a second there, Cutter. Because you've increased your rank, we're gonna give you the next greater ship. Now this one will be full of machinery, electronics, furniture, all stuff that Lynx can collect and resell. You're gonna want to toss those items on the barge. That's the big green thing below you. Go ahead and have a look. Toss any valuable objects or components down there. And don't worry about breaking anything. There's a dampening field that'll catch everything. It works great. Most of the time. Let's give it a go.
Yeah. There is where the most valuable items will be going. First of which are these. Yeah. People who may have been paying attention might have already noticed that down in the middle of the screen, when you're grabbing something or looking at something, it'll tell you where something will go. Like nanocarbon goes into the processor, and well, the antenna and these nacelles will go into the barge. Okay, and this one is also open and exposed already. Okay. Now let's see. Yep, cutting points. And we do not want to cut the nacelle, so there we go. Come on. Heavy little bastard. It also showed when... they already mentioned it a bit, but when you're looking at something, it will tell you the weight of it. Like, that thing almost weighs a ton. But we can still nudge it around.
Salvage secured.
Now, other nacelle... Actually, we couldn't cut these things even if we wanted to because they are encased in nanocarbon. There we go.
Nice work. Got that pretty quickly. Now let me teach you about the kiosk. Once the training wheels come off, Lynx regulations mean you gotta cover your own oxygen and fuel costs. That's the way things go. Turning it on now. Now no need to panic, they'll last you a good while. But if you end up running out, you gotta go top up at the kiosk over there. Let's have a look. Good stuff, Cutter. Pretty easy, right? Alright, I'll leave you to it. We'll chat again when you hit the next rank.
Yeah, this is where we would be storing our oxygen, fuel, and our tethers, which we'll buy. Can we actually buy those off now? Or buy those now? Demo charge packs. Yeah, we will be getting explosives in this. Repair kits and patch kits. Okay, those have been split off. No, those were already split off. And yeah, now in the bottom we have our health, our fuel, the suit integrity, I'm guessing, and our oxygen.
And back.
Okay, we have a helmet light now. I'm not sure if that was in the game originally. Could have been that I just completely overlooked that. But yeah, we just got introduced to the kiosk, and something that I have been using a bit here and there is, yeah, like they said earlier, if you're trying to pull something that's a little heavier than you will go to it instead, which you can use to move around quite a bit. Though it will make you go pretty fast, so you'd have to be a bit careful with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh dear.
let's pull off the door. And let's see, we are not yet trusted to handle reactors. Okay, parts. Okay, not going to let go of these normally, so we have to open them up. And yeah, here we have some lights, some storage, switches, and a chair. All of these will have to go into the barge. But for now, we start as usual with the connecting points so we can pull the hull off. Because as valuable as the barge items are, typically for the small things at least, they'll still come second in total worth. Now that should have... Oh no, wait, down here maybe? Okay. The cockpit is loose now, but because it's so much mass, it's not going to start moving on its own yet. So let's open up the roof for a little trick that I've started using. Though, no, without tethers we can't do that yet, so we can still continue on cutting. Because, yeah, even though we can't really move the cockpit on its own yet, we can still nudge it around with other items.
Oh dear. I just realized something.
Hmm?
I was thinking about dwarves and about the topic we talk about, and I realized I've seen some people sometimes have a dwarf that is capitalist. I realized that will not make sense.
How so?
Well, if you think about it, dwarves value a good product, that the quality should be good, and they don't like when people are, you know, taking the cheap way out to make something look good, meanwhile they just crap. Like they value a good craftsmanship and all that.
Yeah.
And there's many other things I realize that capitalism goes against some dwarven values, at least what usually is dwarven.
You know, there are companies that do make good projects, and well, keep it at working up. But yeah, there we nudged off the cockpit with one of the panels, so now we can get into the outer hull or the inner hull.
Then again, then we come to other things like
Be careful not to cut or bump oxygen tanks, fuel tanks, or fuel lines. If there are flammable objects nearby, those flames can spread pretty quick like.
Yeah, here we have a fuel tank, and these first ones do not have an off switch yet, but there are also no fuel lines to worry about. But yeah, we want to be careful with those things. For now though, can we nudge these off so to give a bit more room? And yes, that was me practically trying to shoulder a 846 kilo panel out of the way, and in zero gravity that is surprisingly efficient.
yeah, and that brings me to other thing about dwarves. Dwarves value the craftsmanship, but also value miners and all that. So
Salvage secured.
yeah, they don't want to go cheap on the employees, for that's how they get the materials.
Yeah, I think you're half. Wait. Okay, that one didn't work actually. Okay, I haven't really seen door consoles malfunction in this game before, so that's something new. Yeah, what was I saying? I think you're partially confusing ultra capitalists, or at least basically bad capitalists, uh, with, well, actual good capitalists. Because on its own, capitalism isn't a bad system, it's just that people have been abusing it for so long that basically the abuse state seemingly has become the standard.
All right.
Because I do know of a few fantasy games where there are still dwarves, yeah, who are capitalists. Though the one example that I can think of right now, with I think it was Divinity Dragoon Commander or something. I forget the specific name, but it was basically a game where you get it was a mixture of things.
Oh, you mean
I
Dragon Command?
Yeah, that one. The dwarves in that are leaning a lot more towards the bad capitalists side. I will admit that fully.
All right. Yeah, I've not played it, but I have heard of it.
Okay. The airlock over there is also for the barge. The previous ship had that pulled out. And speaking of pulling, yes, that little box in the middle, when that drains, that is showing how that is basically showing progress in pulling something loose. Now we can still bump this thing around a bit, but we do not, under any circumstances, want to hit it real hard into something else. Now just nudge it out. There we go. And away you go. Basically we can throw anything we throw into the barge is safe. Because even if it were to somehow break, we've already been paid for it, technically. Now, let's see. Airlocks are for the barge, but they are also vulnerable. We can accidentally cut these things, so you want to avoid that. And these things also have the most connecting points between them. Like 6 usually. Okay. And there we go. That should be all points loose now. So now we start nudging these panels away. Okay. The grappler's just plain phasing through the wall. Small things like that are usually unavoidable unless you make hitboxes for characters really big. Oh, the cockpit is leaning into this thing. So that is blocking its path. So for now then let's nudge... Oh, you're still stuck. Now it should be all of these gone, which we can check with the scanner. And there is no yellow left, so that should be all of the cut points gone. Okay, and off you go. And now the other half. Nope. These lights aren't technically worth it because they're like $10 each or something, unless that has been changed as well. But we have the time to waste in grabbing them and throwing them down as well. Okay. Airlocks can be a bit annoying at times because they are wedged into the... or they are wedged between the outer and inner hull, but this one came loose pretty neatly. And pull that off. In there. Okay, come on. Yeah, the processors and furnaces both have a pulling field on them, so if you get too close, you know, or something gets too close, you're not getting it out again. Even if it's not supposed to go there. In you go. And you are going down. Now, let's see. We still have the roof to do. Oh, but that we do not want to go in there because these crates are generally pretty valuable if you can get a bunch of them. Again, the light isn't really worth it, but we have the time to spend.
Salvage gains. Rewards increasing.
Okay, cargo hatch, that can go into the furnace. There we go. Yeah, the grappler can be pretty precise if you're aiming it right.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Here we go. It also helps that it does light up to say what goes where. So if you see barge, you're grabbing the light there. Now let's see. Yeah, I forgot this last time, and still shows that there are 2 more cut points here. These thruster caps, though technically you don't even have to remove these at the moment. But let's just do that still to show it off. They just come off like that. And you can probably guess something is supposed to be in there. How they actually got that out without removing the thruster cap, that is someone else's problem to figure out. But yeah, usually there'd be engines in there. Or an engine. And you do not want to send that through the process because that would destroy it. Now, these doors here, we can accidentally cut these, but they are hidden behind the aluminium panels. Or actually, they are held stuck in them. So if we cut off these and pull that off, because we do not want to cut that. Yep, we can't get it loose just yet. Are you coming out now? Yes, you are. There you go. Yep. Yep, and where is that? Where'd that go? I'm pretty sure I saw it launched into this direction. Yep. There it is. Yeah, you have to watch out a bit when you're launching stuff around, because you might just launch it into something else and send it completely off course like that. Now, let's see. Now these lights are for the barge, but I'll just shove one in just to show how not worth it they are completely. Food package, okay. A lot of ships will also have just random junk floating around in them.
Well, it might be not young if it's still, edible.
It's supposed to go to the furnace. So yeah, let's just throw that in to see how much it is or isn't worth. Oh, posters. Also go in there. Now let's see. We have to be a bit careful here because the doors are in the walls now. And okay, the power is off. Yeah, you have to be a bit careful sometimes with how you do things, because you can accidentally break electrical systems. Okay, just be careful not to... that is technically isn't worth it to really save, but okay.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
What did you say there?
Raw materials processed. And
Alright.
Now let's see. Yeah, once the doors are open, they are a bit more annoying to get out. And also, yeah, this is probably something they should fix at some point. Just, yep, quantum linked doors.
Oh dear.
Alright, that is most of the stuff from the inner hull done. So yeah, let's start nudging that. Okay, it's not giving a total weight of this entire section, but yeah, it's more than we can push around at the moment. So like last time, we start cutting. Okay. And again, it's the cutting is really specific at times. It'll only cut what within the red points on this cutter. So like if I hold it here, it's only going to cut this panel. If I hold it here, it is going to cut the beam and the panel, but not the beam on the other side. Like you can see here. That can be very useful, but can also be very annoying when dealing with these things. Okay, can we nudge you now? No, something is still keeping you together somewhere. And here it is. Come on.
Det är det som vi må få det sa.
Here. Or is... Are you finally free? Yes, you are. I'm hope. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Okay. And off you go. Fly. Now, the rest of you can also go into there. It's going to. It's maybe going to complain about the. Okay, what is there more of in this? The frame is nanocarbon, or parts. It can be really annoying at times with this. Yeah, there's probably more aluminium on that than nanocarbon, so in it goes. Bottle. Now, let's see. Can we... I doubt this is going to work still. It's still active. Okay. It doesn't react anymore. Okay, chair. Also something there. You have to be careful when you're pulling stuff in, because if it goes too fast, it will just smack you in the face.
You found out the hard way, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay, just pull these out. Come on. And that's going on its own. Sending a friend along. Light's not really worth it. Though I have been saying we have the time, so we might as well waste the time in getting it. Okay. The storage bins are quite valuable, actually. And in other ships, you'll typically find a good amount of these anyways. Okay. Let's see, anything much else? Not really. Okay. Let's check. Anything on the sides? I pressed the wrong button there. I was trying to go down and not push that thing. Okay. And send off the rest. And out of reach. And there we go. You can get quite some speed like that. And just wait for it to process there. Okay, so there was still like a ton of, practically a full ton of nanocarbon and only like 200 kilos of other materials lost there. So it is generally just worth it to just shove the entire cockpit into the processor without disassembling it too much.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, it was only like 67 kilos of aluminium apparently.
Almost a ton of aluminium panel you lost there.
Okay, still a bit. But I think I haven't watched the... I haven't checked the wiki in a bit, but generally it's... in the stages of furnace, processor, barge, it's generally that the anything that goes into the processor is worth 3 times as much as whatever goes into the furnace for the same amount, and everything that goes into the barge is generally worth 3 times as much as whatever you would throw into the processor. So 9 times as valuable as the furnace, except for those lights, because we should check that out in a bit here. Let's see, light.
Ooh.
10 lights destroyed, 12 lights. Okay, 6,000 for lights is still a nice amount. 8 kilos of antenna base. Airlock 75k, soft crate 12k, crystal cap 40k. Door cons. Okay, door consoles are worth a lot if they're 24 each. A food package for 1.8 thousand, or no, 900 each. Okay. And a poster worth 2.1k. Yeah, this world has inflated up to hell and back.
Makes you wonder why the food. How much food is there in the package with that amount?
It's more like the cost of everything seems to have skyrocketed. And
Possibly.
yeah,
Then again,
that bottle alone was worth $100.
yeah, and when you think about it, they have food shortage.
Yeah.
So if that food is still fresh to eat, they will pay for it.
And each of these storage bins is also worth like 24k. And let's see, 3 points, 6 points, a repair kit, and 15 points. You know, with links tokens. Still nothing. Still no MP from goals. But this was still part of the tutorial, and we're an hour and a half in. Also here, yeah, now it starts with the interest. Like spare regeneration feed, we haven't died, so there. Interest, even though it's a tiny amount of interest, it's on such a large amount that it's still 125,000 per day. Baileys 50k, salvage transport 10k. Like, really, we have to pay for the stuff that we our job is to move this stuff, and still we have to pay to have it moved. Cutting tool rental, grapple tool rental, hab rent. Pardon there. Hab utilities, helmet rental, scanner rental, suit rental, and thruster rental. Yeah, basically, these shipbreaker jobs are basically like a honey trap. Once you're in, it's hard to get out, or it takes forever to get out and actually make some money. I dubbed the Shipbreaker new sticker, completed tutorial. Okay, no new messages. And let's put that up there. Let's see, certification, rank, we are at rank 3, we need rank 4, which will give us access to rank 3, or rank 3 ships. So yeah, we've picked this thing completely clean. So view catalog. Now let's go for a light cargo vessel. One person's trash is another person's livelihood. Yeah, that is literally our job.
Yeah, let's be honest, just leaving a...
It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce you to the rest of the crew in our sector today. Sound off, everyone.
Hey, Rook. Name's Lou. I was the worm until you showed up, so thank you. Now I get to do the hazing.
Come on, Lou. What are you talking about? We don't do that. Welcome aboard and don't listen to her. I'm Dee Dee.
I'm Kaito.
Kai? I think your mic's still messed up.
Oh. Can you hear me? How about now?
Better.
Ah, hey. I'm Kaito. Kai.
Mic's still busted, huh?
Yeah, still waiting on the wreck to get a boot.
Heaven forbid they give us functional gear.
All right, Lou. I'm sure they're working on it as fast as they can. Anyway, Cutter, I've just added you to the official sector comms channel. It gets lonely out here, so don't hesitate to check in with each other from time to time. All right.
Okay, those sound like they could be as fun.
Yeah. I think I forgot what I was to say now for all that.
Okay. Any points here? One over there. Yeah, we're now starting to get ships that are starting to get filled in with stuff. These cargo ones are generally pretty useful because, you know, in the macros at least, all of the stuff is like stacked together in here, so you can easily just shove it out once the floor is out.
Oh, now I remember what to say. I was to say that it makes sense to have ship salvagers since there's too much material to just leave it hang around a planet or in space.
Yeah. Let's see. Cargo hatch, a valuable one this time.
When I think of it, I think of the find annoying with the concept of a garbage planet. For
Yeah.
a good civilization would, take care of as much material from it as possible and not need a garbage planet.
Yeah, there would still be things that would be hard to process, but yeah, having like recycling planets would make more sense than outright garbage planets. And this is new. These things typically only stick to the top of them, of the ships. And since we're here, we might as well get straight to this.
Yeah, and
Also, you might have noticed these blocks whenever you're hovering over something. That's the integrity. Once it's in the red, then it's useless, I'm pretty sure. Going from memory.
let's see, alright. The only problem I found with the garbage planet is most of it, I think almost all of them have been garbage planet have a air supply that you can breathe. Which then is a problem. Would there even be air left if you turn an entire planet into a garbage can?
Yeah, there would still be air, yeah, but if it would be breathable, that would be another matter entirely.
Yeah, for if there's not a lot of plant life to produce the needed air, then yeah. And after even idea to just put garbage on a living planet, that you can breathe on and turn it into a garbage planet, just that annoys me.
Yeah, it would be a lot more useful to basically have it dumped in some. If you were going to dump stuff, dump it somewhere that there's no atmosphere or people living in general.
Yeah.
And then you can have you could have automated recycling systems at work.
Yeah, like a automated recycling system on a moon or something that's uninhabited, that could work, but if you have a planet with ecosystem, leave it alone from that kind of concept.
Ah, there it is. In you
I
go.
I even hate the idea of when you turn an entire planet into one city. Even that I hate. For yeah, it sounds way too much self-destructive.
Yeah, because yeah, people need oxygen and such. And if there's no trees, there is not going to be any oxygen unless you're just well, there are ways to get there is ways to get oxygen without trees, but you need other materials for that and entire plants to make that stuff. Like I
Algae or
believe the International Space Station gets its oxygen from an electric system that uses hydrogen and splits it, or no, it takes water and splits that into oxygen and hydrogen, I think.
yeah, that makes sense. And as well, I think you can use algae to produce air, but you still need a farm for that.
Yeah. And algae could also work as a food.
Yeah, I could say you need it when you have a farm on a spaceship. It makes sense for it gives you air and food.
Okay, that's all the cargo of this slab. the next one. Oh, the cockpit is free already, so we could just dive into the walls and get to work there, but let's get rid of the cargo first.
Salvage gains observed.
Oh, we're running a bit low on fuel.
Easy to fix. I just try and toss a burger through space towards you and hope I hit.
No, fuel for the thrusters, not food.
Oh, same trick. I try and gently toss it towards your fuel tank and pray it does not explode again.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Okay, I think we have a crate free floating in here somewhere. I think I saw one come loose earlier. Where is that thing?
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Hmm. Okay, that might have been a loss then, but... Or maybe I picked it up and threw it down without really fully noticing. Because yeah, before today I already had 32 hours into this game. So you could say I'm a bit experienced with it. Okay, easy enough there.
Bloody heck.
Yeah, I'm guess. Yeah, we have a bunch of games now lined up for something Sunday, so we'll have to work out a bit of a schedule because I'm thinking about continuing with this game as well because it's obvious we're probably not going to get all of the new content today because we have like half an hour left. So yeah, but it has been. I still need to continue with Aground as well.
Yeah, though. There's something about a ground that feels that it is cute and all, but it doesn't have the, spark.
Okay, come on, get loose. Yeah, we'll just have to figure out a bit of a schedule with the games that we want to see show. It has been a week or two since I showed. Actually, how long ago was the last game? We had last week we had the Roguelite edition where we showed Void Bastards and Hades, and before that we did something else, I think.
The Disney game.
What the heck? What the? The hell did I hit there? Oh! I think wait. Did I? I didn't hit the fuel tank. What the hell did I hit there? I have no idea what I just hit there for it to start burning like that.
No idea either. But yeah, before last week you did the Tiger in a Room thing, Disney game, and a few other smaller games.
Okay, so it hasn't been too long since since the last one where we showed off multiple games. Let's see, fuel.
Fuel levels restored.
Can we get? We still can't get tethers. Okay. I'm guessing that's reserved for the next for the next rank that we get to unlock that. Okay, we'll have to be a bit careful here now because these panels are burning up now, and we do not want to bring the fuel tank anywhere near that. Let's see. Can I? Yeah, I can just pull you out.
Burning. There shouldn't be burning in space.
Yeah, there are some materials, or it would depend a bit on what type of fuel there is, because I think there are some materials, or wait, can we even still open these? Okay, you can still open those. There are some chemicals that can burn even underwater,
Oh,
I
true. And
think. And well,
we do have the sun as well.
okay, just be a bit careful. Let's see. Okay. And we can nudge these off. Also, something that has been changed since the last update is in some ships, typically the bigger ones, you could find cut guards, which were basically they prevented you from cutting these. And yeah, you had to throw something at them to break them. Which, well, if you had to break something near something explosive, yeah, that the thing that you threw had a good chance of ricocheting into the explosive, and with the predictable results. Uh, the developers have removed that from the game. There are no more cut guards in the game.
That's good. Especially if that only cause problems anyway.
Yeah. It basically was an annoyance that didn't add too much to the game. Okay, and off you go. And there's going that. Let's see, where actually are we at the moment? I think. Let's see. That looks like North America with the Gulf of Mexico really expanded.
Yeah, and wait, look at its color. It's
that looks like a lot of deserts.
Way more desert than it should have, and there's still some green in South America, but even its deserts have grown.
Yeah. Okay, so the planet below had a big ass. Okay, where the fuck is Europe?
Yeah,
okay.
We are on the wrong side of the planet to see Europe.
Let's see, what is that? I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be North America, so that is supposed to be South Africa. But I don't remember South Africa being that big.
South Africa? You mean South America, I hope.
Yeah, North America, South America. Then what the hell is all of that mass? Is that Africa?
Wait. No, that's still South America.
Okay, yeah, we're not zoomed out that much, so it might just be that Europe is out of our sights from here.
Yeah, that would make sense, but it is still a large ocean between them.
Yeah. Okay, now gawking back to work. Though, if the Gulf of Mexico has expanded that much, then I wouldn't be surprised if a good amount of Europe has flooded here as well.
In the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about how much of Netherlands has sunken.
No, it's not that the Netherlands have really sunken into the sea. It's more like we stole it from the sea, and with rising water levels, it would take it back.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a saying, I think, that I forget the specific way of how it goes, but I think it was like God created the earth, but the Dutch created the Netherlands.
Okay.
Because a good amount of our, well, not the majority of our land, but still a good amount, like a province. Yeah, an entire province we took from the sea.
Bloody heck. That is impressive. But also concerning.
Yeah, most of the country is below the sea line. which is why we have those big ass dikes to keep the water out. In a way, you could say that the Netherlands has been in a a bit of a world war of its own against the sea.
Bloody heck.
Okay, I'm just throwing lights into the processors as well, but they are a bit valuable, but they pale in comparison to the stuff they're attached to. And with the more items that we could get access to in these to be thrown into the barges, those lights are just going to be nickels. And yeah, a lot of nickels can still make a buck, but when we get reactors, those are some very big bucks. And sorry for missing you in the chat, Berilius. Like 15 minutes later.
Hello, Barry.
Okay. Yeah, fuel lines, obvious. The lights mean that there is fuel in them. And I forget which controls it was. There. You can grab onto stuff with X and Z. And technically you can even move around like that. If you were like completely out of fuel, perhaps. But yeah, if the lights being on in that shows that there's fuel in the pipes, so we do not want to cut them. Maybe I accidentally hit one of those earlier.
Possible.
Okay, just careful where the dots are. And there we go. And that should be both the roof and the floor loose. Yep. Okay, give you a shove. There we go. We might be a lightweight in comparison to all of this, but we can still throw our weight around. Literally and figuratively. Okay.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Here we go. Now, we have the cockpit, the inner structure, and the ass left. Actually, shouldn't you be loose already? There we go. Okay. The afters of ships can be annoying to work with in the bigger ships because they are so close to the furnaces that you might end up losing them in there. I've had that happen before the latest update quite a bit. Oh, poster.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Another bottle. Now, let's see. We still have the doors in here, I think. This one is probably not going to work anymore. No, we can't even interact with it. Okay. And come on. Not yet. Okay. Cut that more. Oh, and that's just the third goal got. And there we go. Oh, wait, what? Okay. No more quantum lock doors. Or where is the other door? Okay, odd.
Perhaps you broke it.
We probably would have been scolded if it was destroyed there. But oh well. Let's see. I forget how we are supposed to deal with those pipe junctions. Yeah, not like that. Yeah, let's see. And that's now scrap metal, so it's useless. or it's not useless, but it's still worth a lot less now. Yeah, fuel lines and junctions you can only really get once you have the fuel turned off. But since these macros don't have an option to cut the fuel lines off, or the fuel process, what would be the freaking word? The fuel supply.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, in bigger ships we'll need to find fuel shut-off points, and then those pipes become manageable. Let's see. Still to where is it still connected to stuff? Probably there. Yep. Now, can you move? Yes, we can. In the in the data underneath the cursor, it also shows a bit of the weight. Like if I hold it over here, it's fully in the red, which means that I can't move it. And I believe the little line in it shows when something is heavier than you. So yeah, when you would get pulled towards something instead of pulling something towards yourself. Let's see. Still attached somewhere. Oh, over here. Yeah, let's cut this through the middle. Now can you be moved? Nope, still more there. Now they are apart. Okay. Okay, come on, go. Go get the Shipbreaker. Bunch of small junk. Okay, some things will start to lose their forward momentum a bit but that's usually only the really big stuff. Let's see, what do we have in here? Some storage bins, some chairs. Yeah, I'm not going to... Nope, come on. I'm not going to mess... Or I'm not going to bother with cutting out the glass this time. Like, if they really want it that bad, they can have someone work on it after the processor is done with it. Though yeah, the furnace just smelts stuff down. I'm guessing what would the processor do? Just carve everything up into cubes or something?
That is a good question.
Let's see. And that's that, except for this one. And the rest of you off to the processor. If you grab something when it's moving, you will halt its momentum a bit. And there we go. Anything left floating around? Just some small stuff. And off it goes. Okay, and we head back. Come on, break. There we go. And another shift done.
Well done.
Okay, still a bunch of stuff destroyed, but we still got 1.7 million out of that. And another rank. Another ship class.
Hey Cutter, I'm looking at the stats coming from your time to learn about how to upgrade your equipment and some of the more advanced tools you'll soon have at your disposal. Head on over to the upgrade section of your employee terminal now.
Okay, let's see. Career progress and notice new ship access. Hey Cutter, great work. Great working reaching the next certification rank. I'm clearing you for a new macro ship class. The extra lab will now show up in the ship catalog, and let me tell you, these are as amazing as they are dangerous. Tons of electronics in there, so make sure you begin cautious. Getting zapped ain't fun. Extra labs come with a bunch of cool exterior bits too, robotic arms and radar dishes. Used to be for science, I guess. Pretty cool stuff. Links get might ticked if we damage those, so make sure you take extra good care of them. Wouldn't want to worry about your next performance review, cause you messed up a bunch of those up. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake for you. See you in the bay. Okay, I like Weaver, though when you are timed he can get very annoying because he pipes up like 3 times to tell you on the time limit. Qualified to handle electrical hazards during salvage due to regulatory rollbacks introduced in 2299. Link salvage does not do a preliminary exam of ships to disconnect potential electrical hazards. We believe our ship breakers are well suited to handle such dangers, and the long-term time savings are highly beneficial. Electrical components may arc when removed, impacted, or damaged, causing other objects to become electrified, including the shipbreaker themselves. This can damage to the Link's spare and Link's equipment. I do have to wonder though, since we are a spare or a clone, are we technically company property?
That be concerning. That is, and then they're just tricking you with the debt.
Yeah, but we'd have to figure that out more in the story later. For now though, another 500 or another $500,000 in fees, but we made 1.7 million, so that's still slowly but surely carving away at this big ass number. Now, as Scott said,
This straight from the manual. Lynx rewards hard work and learning by giving shipbreakers access to tool improvements and new equipment. Reaching salvage goals is essential for becoming a master shipbreaker. Basically, they want to make sure you prove yourself first before giving you the big guns. Completing salvage goals will net you shiny Lynx tokens. Use those tokens here to get yourself some new gear. Sometimes there are some extra goodies in the rewards too. So let's get going and learn about one of the most important tools in a shipbreaker's toolbox. Tethers. Go ahead and purchase them.
yeah. Tethers, well, you saw them in the intro bit. They are very useful for moving stuff around. I think they are in here. Yes, they are. Tether module. Purchase the license for a remote continuous van der Waals medium tensor or tether. Tethers can be deployed to establish 2 electromagnetic anchors that pull objects along a field medium.
Have a quick read, then hop back in the bay.
Okay, an enhancement to the standard handheld utility grapple. The continuous van der Waals tethers reduce the need for multiple shipbreakers to move a single heavy object, a versatile tool in the hands of skilled workers. The introduction of tethers led to the second greatest increase in salvaging efficiency in Link's history, only losing out to real protein breakfast meal, discontinued in 2262. Okay. Tethers are easy and intuitive to use. Press and hold your grappler's secondary trigger to place the first contact point, drag the connection to another object, and release the trigger to complete the connection. Tethers automatically retract to pull connected objects together. They can also be used to pull objects into the processor, furnace, or barge for efficient and quick salvaging. Yep. Yeah, those things are really your best friend besides the cutter and the grapple tools itself. And what do we have here as well? Push module, we already have that installed. And yeah, each of these unlock at higher certification ranks. So we need to be certification rank or level, I'll just call them level 28 to unlock this one. Are there any others we can unlock at the moment? It doesn't look like it. Okay. But for now, we've just hit the 2-hour mark. And yeah, working on another ship is probably going to be yet another half hour. And yeah, I need a break. You'd probably need a break, and the people watching this probably also want a break from me hearing my annoying voice.
Your voice is not bad.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this last time, but I think I mentioned it last time, but I worked at the recording volumes a bit, so that I should be a bit more better audible. I'll have to check the videos of this after, or the video after from this to be sure if I'm not drowning anything else out. Yeah, audio management is always going to be an annoying thing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, let's check the viewer count for people who do not sound like bots. If you aren't a bot and I do not mention you, speak up and I'll to notify me that you are not a bot. Let's see. From the bottom to the top, not Josefa7. Uh, I do not have the slightest idea of some sort of a joke to make with that name. So thank you for watching. Commander Roots, I'm pretty sure that is a bot, so I really should start ignoring that. Brillius, thank you for watching. I've been enjoying your streams as well. Yeah, that's about it. It seems. Yeah, I should start banning these bots, just plain out. Can I actually do that right here in the stream chat?
It's probably better to ban them when you're sure they are bots to begin with.
Yeah. I'll just have to check around a bit. But yeah. Zero bans on that one. Let me take a quick check here. Zero bans, zero bans. Okay, either these really are just still a lot of zeros on this, like 0 messages even. But oh well, I'll just have to do a bit of sleuthing to see who may or may not be bots and such. But for now, yeah. Thank you anyone who has been watching now later on YouTube, and special thanks to Drakir.
You're most welcome.
And yeah, Tuesday, more Rachel of the Night. I thought the last stream we completely I thought yesterday we completely sequenced break the game, but apparently not. Yeah, I have no idea how much longer that game is going to go for, but I'm thinking after we're done with that game, we maybe change the Sunday or the Saturday stream into something Saturday. So we start mixing up things a bit. That we have 2 streams of a game, of a main game in the schedule, and then we have something Sunday and something Saturday for tryouts and games we're playing on the side with that for like a ground hardship. I keep messing up the name. Hardspace Shipbreaker, and I think there was something else that we had tried and wanted to continue a bit, but I'm forgetting the name. I'll just have to check on myself a bit. But yeah, I'll figure that out tomorrow, or well, I still have a whole day or half a day to go today, so I'll just start making some notes and thinking about it. But for now, again, anyone's been watching, thank you, and until next time, but until then.
Be safe, folks.